Hey guys, my name is Angie, and today I want to share a question that I received, which was really interesting, related to how can you reach out to somebody that you don't know on LinkedIn, establish a relationship, network with them, and help use them or leverage that contact to find jobs. And so basically, the question, I want to just read it to you real quick. Um, it's a bit difficult to become more than service level acquaintances, especially during these times where we can't meet people in person. What would you say to meeting them over video and then trying to get to another quality level of conversation? Is that enough to have that person vouch for you um, for a job, for a job position? In another sense, is there some other way besides spamming people and shooting out your resume to a recruiter versus, is it suitable to just chat with them one or two times on one or two occasions? The concern I have is for companies that where you don't know anyone except reaching out to people on LinkedIn. Do you have any tactics you can suggest regarding this? So, I know that it's a really chaotic time. There's so many great companies out there, and it feels like you can only leverage the network that you have. So this question is related to how can you actually extend your network and try to meet people that or talk to people about job opportunities when you don't know them, you don't know anyone in the company, and what can you actually do is that to make meaningful conversations that can get you to that place and have your foot in the door. So I have a few tactics that you can do. Number one is to leverage your secondary contacts on LinkedIn. A lot of people are using their LinkedIn as like some kind of glorified resume, but a really great way to leverage your LinkedIn is to notice what those secondary contacts are. And so if you are going to do a cold contact, or if you're going to do to reach out to someone you don't know, first start by looking for the company, and then you can see if you have any secondary or tertiary contacts with someone associated with that company. Then you message them and say like, hey, you'll mention the person that's your mutual contact. You'll say, hey, Sam, I'm reaching out to you. I used to work with Becca. Becca and I were doing a project on X. I'd love to tell you more about it, and also I would like to talk to you and learn more about your experience at Company Z. So that's one straightforward way. It's valuable to make it really specific and then see that you're mentioning their name, you mention your mutual contact, you mention a company that they're at in a project that they were working on. These are things that are going to help you stand out so that they'll feel more enticed to respond. Otherwise, it could look like spam, it could look like you weren't really putting a lot of effort into reaching out, and this is going to really open the door and make it more possible that they would like to chat with you over Zoom, or just get to know you. The second thing you can do is I would, in response to the recruiter bit where you just shoot over your resumes, I wouldn't completely discount recruiter contacts. Recruiters, like, that's their job. They're super willing to hop on chats. They're always willing to tell you more about the company and learn more about your experience. You should definitely leverage that. Respond to the people that are reaching out to you. Make time to talk to them. Sometimes it can feel like a full-time job just looking for a job, but you need to make time to talk to people. Even make time to talk to these recruiters. Let's see. If they're interested in you, that's going to be more likely that you'll have a chance to get the first interview. You can, even if their recruiter is reaching out to you about a position that you're not interested in, let's say I have a computer science background and I'm working in UX, so occasionally I'll get people reaching out to me about development positions, and I'll say like, hey, we're looking for engineers and so, and I'll say like, oh, I appreciate that. I'm not looking for engineering positions, but if you have anything in UX, let me know. Similarly, I'm not looking to relocate, so I'm in Nashville right now, and people will reach out and say like, hey, there's this opportunity for our Seattle office. Would you be interested in talking about it? And I'd say, actually, I'm not looking to relocate. Do you know about opportunities in Nashville? And so never ignore them, at least, especially if you're in a major job hunting mode. at least you can always reach back out and say like, hey, thanks for talking to me. Do you happen to know about opportunities doing this or in this area? And then finally, my other tip for you is, let's see, if you're wanting to find a mentor or really create a way to establish relationships outside of your network, or in other words, how can you extend your network? There are a few things that you could do. There's LinkedIn groups. You can look for things that are based on a specific topic or someone you're following, like maybe there's a Tony Robbins group or there's a group on a certain book, and you can find people in your network or who have mutual contacts and then reach out to those people. On the LinkedIn groups, there's also Facebook. Facebook isn't dead. There's like groups you can look for where there's mentor-mentee connections that are established, and then you can go and just fill out a form and then they'll connect you with people there. A more surefire way of finding a mentor or looking for somebody who would vouch for you in your job hunt is to look in your alumni networks. You can reach out to let's say your computer science department head and say, hey, I'm really struggling. Is there any way that you, and maybe you're not struggling, but you're looking for mentorship and you're really looking to extend your network, so just say it like that. Hi, I'm looking to extend my network. I'm in the job hunt. I'd love to learn more about what it's like to get your entry-level position. Professor so-and-so, is there anyone, could you reach out to the alumni network and see if anyone is looking for a mentee? And then there's always a distribution list, an email list. They'll send it out and try to get you a good fit there. Let's see. And then finally, I already touched on this a bit, but it's the cold messaging. So if you have a secondary or tertiary contact on LinkedIn, that's the best way to go, especially secondary when you have one mutual friend. But if you need to go further or even just cold message, always make it specific, always tailor it to that person. And then one format structure you can use is, hi, I'm Angie. I see that you know Sam. We used to work together at company Y. I'm a student looking to meet new people, developers. I really loved your article about machine learning. It made me think about the way that technology is developing and how it's going to impact something. Would you be open to a 30-minute call next week? So what we have is that you've introduced yourself. You mention the contact so that it just triggers in the recipient's mind that this isn't some random spam cold email. You tell them what you're looking for, so you're really straightforward. You say, I'm a student looking to meet new people, developers, and then you made it about them. You mentioned that you've done your homework, that you know a little bit more about the work that they're doing, and that makes it seem like you're really invested in connecting. And so you say, I really loved your article on machine learning, and then you comment on it a little bit. You said it made me think about future possibility and the way that technology is changing. And then you close it with an action item. Would you be open to a 30-minute call next week? You can even offer a date. I think that that's a really good tactic. You can say, would you happen to be open next Tuesday or Wednesday? And that is a really great way to kind of take some of the weight and the responsibility of scheduling from your recipient and tell them that you're really, you really mean business, that you're super organized, you're straightforward, you did your homework, and then that, I think, is a really great format for reaching out to people that you don't know and you're trying to connect with. Okay, so that said, those are a few ways that I would recommend reaching out to people that you don't know, how to network online, extend your network when we are not in person, and then also find mentorship or people who will vouch for you, who will put your name on top of the resume stack, and just ways to stand out in a time when it's really hard to meet people outside of your network. So I hope that these tips are helpful to you. Good luck with your job hunt. As always, leave comments down below if you have other questions or message me. So good luck with everything, and I hope that this is helpful to you. All right, bye.